So before setting off on our long journey from Mexico to the UK, I took Dennis on his last ever jungle walk to burn off some energy before we got into his dog crate. I'd got all the paperwork that I could so far, but unfortunately this was only enough to get us through to Paris. And I hadn't actually realised that until the day before. So I was a bit stressed at this point. I'd got the crate already, had a cushion in there, an old blanket, a towel, and a t-shirt. This is a large dog crate. And then the taxi came to take us to Cancun airport. We checked in with Air France for our flight to Paris, and they were very efficient. I was very impressed with them. Dennis seemed okay at the airport, quite chilled, quite relaxed. And then after check-in, we had an hour and a half. So I went outside and walked him around. There was a dedicated area for dogs, which was fantastic. And Dennis isn't used to grass, so he was very excited to have a good sniff about. And he made some friends as well, which was nice. And then back into the airport, where he got into his crate, which was secured with cable ties. Poor thing, probably wondering what's going on. It was quite sad seeing him go off on the conveyor belt, because at this point he was going to be in the crate for about a minimum of 12 hours. So I was a bit worried. Off he goes. It was an overnight flight. It left at 8:30 p.m, so hopefully he would have just slept. And then when I arrived in Paris, I hurried to get my luggage so that I could go and find Dennis. And here he is, looking a bit forlorn. I was pleased to see him. Mo from Super Pet Taxis met me at arrivals. He was amazing. He had some scissors, so he cut the rope so we could get Dennis out of the crate. And I think Dennis was very relieved to get out of there and have a good stretch. I was so pleased to see Mo. He was my saviour on the day. And as you can see here, Dennis was pleased to see me. He gave me a good wash. He obviously thought I needed it after the long overnight flight. I'd managed to get a little bit of sleep, which was good. Thanks for the wash though, Dennis. And then Mo stopped off at a nearby lay-by so Dennis could stretch his legs before carrying on in the taxi to the French vets. Here's Dennis checking out the French countryside. And we were heading off to the vets in the hope that we could get a pet passport that would take us straight on to the UK. I wasn't sure at this point if we were going to be able to get the pet passport. Here we are at the vets, and Mo went in to speak to the vet to explain the situation. Here's Mo, superstar Mo, and I was so relieved. Here's the French vet who had agreed to issue the pet passport for us, which was very kind of him because he was just in between appointments and he'd just got back from holiday the day before, so he was very busy. Here's Mo checking us through pet control, pet border control, and then we went on through French customs and UK border control too. At this point, I just had to sit back and relax. Mo took charge of everything. We got onto the Eurotunnel. Dennis was a bit unsure of this, but again, he took it all in his stride. He seemed quite happy, probably wondering what was going on. Seeing as he spent all of his life so far in the Mexican jungle, this is all very new to him. And here we're arriving in the UK at long last. I was so relieved. What do you think, Dennis? This is the country you're going to live in for the rest of your life. I think he likes it. The sun was shining. And here's Dave. We were so pleased to see him. We hadn't seen him for over a week at this point. He'd been busy behind the scenes trying to get everything sorted out for us. We popped into Costa for a quick cup of tea, which was lovely. And then Dennis got into our car, which David prepared and dog-proofed, into the UK traffic and on our final leg to Peterborough. Exhausted, but very happy and very relieved. Thank you to everyone who donated.